For as long as human memory stretches, Antarctica has been a land of silence, a world carved in ice, untouched by war, untouched by time, a place so hostile, so unforgiving, that even life bows in humility. But beneath this frozen stillness lies a secret powerful enough to rewrite the shape of continents, reshape the fate of nations, and transform Earth into a world we might not recognize. What if Antarctica melted completely? This is not just a thought experiment. It is a window into a future that sleeps beneath our feet. Silent, unimaginable, and dangerously possible. Picture this moment. A lone satellite drifts silently over the South Pole. Its sensors detect something strange, a heat signature beneath a once stable ice shelf. The satellite blinks, signals back to Earth. A crack has appeared, not a small one, but a fracture stretching 120 kilometers across the ice. The world barely notices, but nature does, because this crack is the first domino, the whisper before the roar. Within months, the shelf shatters. Massive icebergs break free like drifting islands. Their collapse sends tremors across the continent. The giant is awakening. To understand what comes next, we must understand what Antarctica truly is. It is not just frozen water. It is Earth's biggest climate engine. Antarctica locks away 90% of the planet's ice and 70% of its fresh water. Layer upon layer, century after century, snowfall compressed into a continent-wide memory bank. Some ice deeper than 4 kilometers. Fell as snow when mammoths still roamed the Earth. This is not ordinary ice. It is ancient, dense, world-shaping, and if it melts, it doesn't just raise sea levels, it resets the planet. People imagine Antarctica melting like ice cream under the sun, but that is not how this story unfolds. Antarctica melts from below. Warm ocean water, only a few degrees hotter, slips beneath the floating shelves. It melts their underbellies. It hollows them out like secret tunnels in a glacier cathedral. When the ice shelves weaken, they no longer hold back the glaciers behind them, and those glaciers flow like rivers of frozen steel. Once free, they accelerate, meters per day, then tens of meters, then faster still. Some glaciers, like the Thwaites Glacier, better known as the Doomsday Glacier, hold enough ice to reshape coastlines all on their own. And Thwaites is only one glacier. Antarctica has hundreds. Now we open the door to the world after the ice. Not immediately, not suddenly, but inevitably. The melt begins slowly, but once unstoppable, everything accelerates. Let us step into the future. Scenario 1. The new map of Earth. Flood maps show a new coastline, creeping inland like an invading tide. With 58 meters of sea level rise, Florida disappears almost entirely. The Netherlands becomes an underwater memory. Bangladesh vanishes beneath a rushing delta. Sydney, Rio, Cape Town, Alexandria, submerged. Tokyo becomes a fractured chain of islands. Coastal China loses millions of hectares of farmland. Entire regions with centuries of culture become underwater relics. Cities that once glittered with skyscrapers lie silent beneath greenish waves. Roads swallowed by drifting sand. Ghost highways beneath the sea. Humanity must redraw the map of civilization. Scenario 2. The sky turns unpredictable. When Antarctica loses its white shield, Earth loses one of its greatest tools for reflecting sunlight. The planet warms faster, and in ways we barely understand. Storm seasons stretch longer, droughts bite deeper, rainfall becomes erratic and violent. Monsoons shift, jet streams wobble, thunderstorms intensify, heat waves push temperatures into ranges humans have never experienced. The atmosphere becomes a restless, unstable force, not an enemy, but a wild, unpredictable companion. Humanity must learn to survive alongside. Scenario 3. The ocean loses its rhythm. The cold, heavy water of Antarctica normally sinks and drives the ocean conveyor belt, a global cycle of heat and nutrients that feeds marine life. Without that cold anchor, the conveyor slows, some currents stall, others reverse. The Atlantic overturning collapses. Europe cools while the rest of the world heats. Marine species lose their migratory cues. Coral reefs bleach then vanish. Entire fishing industries collapse. A warm planet does not always mean a rich one, can also mean a hungry one. Scenario 4. Life in the new Antarctica. As the ice retreats, Antarctica transforms into a cold, stormy ocean dotted with islands. Mountains that once lay buried beneath kilometers of ice pierce the surface like broken teeth. Dark, fertile soil appears, but the winds are violent, the weather unstable. Scientists envision tundra life returning. Mosses, lichens, hardy shrubs, maybe even insects and birds. But the unique ecosystems that relied on ice, emperor penguins, Weddell seals, krill, collapse. The oldest frozen habitats on Earth vanish, replaced by something new, something uncertain, something entirely untested. Deep human scenario. Civilization under pressure. The crisis forces humanity into the greatest migration since the dawn of our species. Over 1.5 billion people live in areas that become uninhabitable. Coastal megacities attempt the impossible, building seawalls rivaling the height of towers. Some succeed, many fail. Nations fight over fresh water, over farmland, over habitable land. Political systems strain, borders blur, economies reel. Yet at the same time, innovation explodes. Floating cities rise over former coastlines. Artificial islands expand. Giant sunshades in orbit reflect heat. Robotic ice makers attempt to rebuild glaciers. Carbon removal machines tower like futuristic forests. Humanity refuses to surrender. Even in disaster, we create, adapt, and evolve. Scenario: the psychological impact. For the first time in history, humans witness the disappearance of a continent. Documentaries show before and after landscapes, so different they feel unreal. Children learn about Antarctica, the same way we learn about the dinosaurs. A world that once was, a world they will never see. Artists paint lost glaciers. Writers mourn vanished white horizons. The global collective memory feels lighter, emptier, missing a piece of itself. The melting of Antarctica becomes not just a scientific event, but a cultural scar. And now, we return to the present, to a world where Antarctica is still frozen, still silent, still watching. The story you just entered is not inevitable. It is a warning, a path we can still turn away from. Antarctica melts only if we allow it. Its future is not written. Its collapse is not fate. The survival is still in our hands. We stand at the edge of two worlds, one where the ice endures, and one where the oceans rise. Which world we choose depends on what we do in this decade, this century, this moment, because Antarctica is more than ice. It is the balance of Earth itself. Protecting it means protecting us, our cities, our cultures, our children, and the fragile miracle of life that thrives on this blue, warming, extraordinary planet we call home.